Hey, Freedom Family. I'm Mark, and I'm so glad you're here at _Freedom for Life _ because we have conversations that I believe matter. And so I'm glad you're here today for this conversation because I'll just be honest with you. This week, something wild happened. My wife and I, we got in a disagreement. You could call it an argument. It really wasn't something that was heated or what have you, but it was a disagreement where we weren't really on the same page or liking each other at the moment. And in the midst of it, I understood something that was absolutely huge in our marriage of 33 years that allowed us to not let the arguments go into places where the relationship was damaged and hurt and bruised by it. And I'm going to give you the secret that I remembered and used to get through this disagreement that we had. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hey, I'm glad that you're here, and while you're here for this conversation of how to win every argument that you're involved in, could you do me a favor? Could you subscribe to be a part of every one of our conversations, and could you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on every conversation that we have? So yeah, I couldn't believe it. 33 years of marriage, and my wife and I got in a disagreement this week, something where we kind of went our separate ways and decided we weren't going to talk for a minute. Have you ever been there? The honest truth is, I can't remember the last time we did get into an argument, a disagreement, or something where we weren't on the same page, and it kind of stayed that way for a while. But in 33 years of marriage, I found something. I had to grow a lot, to be totally honest, in our marriage, and maybe she did too, but here's the truth of the matter. I had to grow in our marriage, and I found something out. How do I win in every argument or disagreement that I have with my wife? And it actually comes back to understanding the design and the desire that I have in my marriage. See, I don't actually want to win every argument. I actually, through understanding what it looks like to have a God-centered marriage, I found out that I actually like it when we're getting along. I like it when we're on the same page and laughing, and the home is a place of peace and love and joy and all of those emotions that you want to have, that atmosphere you want to have in your marriage. And so what I found out is that what we were doing early on, or at least I was, that wasn't working, was everything was a battle. And now almost nothing is. And the reason is because there's these rules that we live by, and this one secret to being able to win every argument that I'm involved in with my wife, or disagreement, or whatever the word is you want to use. Difference of opinion, right? Anything that we use to basically understand that we're not getting along or agreeing. The one secret that I'm talking about is this. The person who wins the argument, the person who wins the disagreement, the difference of opinion, whatever words you want to use, the person who wins is the first one to try and say they're sorry. It's the first one, honestly, who comes back to understanding that we're united, we're not separated. It's the first one that comes forward and says that you matter and we matter more than this thing we're talking about. It's the first one who understands that I want to reach out for you, not walk away from you. At the end of the day, whatever the disagreement is, the honest truth is in our marriage, 99.99% of them eternally didn't matter. They were just differences of opinion or desires or misunderstandings or people that were tired or hungry or angry or whatever you want to call it, and just were irritating with each other at that moment. But they didn't have eternal consequences in my marriage and our finances and our parenting or anything like that. There were just points where two people were a bit shorter in their fuse than they needed to be. And I say that because what did matter in that was that our marriage was going to grow in the times where we were united and together, in the places where we came back together and said, hey, how do we make this better? How do we fix this? After this disagreement, one of the conversations my wife and I had was, hey, how do we get better at resolving these, to not have our emotions get the best of us? Really, the conversation was about, hey, how do we get back to being unified? How do we get back to being you and me, looking at the issue together, not looking at each other as if we're the issue? The first person to choose unity, the first person to choose forgiveness, the first person to choose humility, the first person to choose love before anger is the first person to win. And the truth is, all it takes is one to step into the middle of this safe place of relationship for the other one to step in also, if you have a healthy relationship. How do I win every argument that I'm a part of? In understanding that unity and love and this marriage matters more than winning an argument or being on the top side of a disagreement. I guarantee you, if you can get to that place where you trust each other enough to say you're sorry first, where you say, you matter to me more than our disagreement, I'm sorry for my part in it, how do we make it better? Those questions will change your life forever. They changed our marriage from being a place of stress early on to a place of huge blessing, where we had a disagreement this week. I think it was on Tuesday. It was 2 days ago. And I can't remember the last time we had one before this, because we're choosing us more than it. The conversation, the disagreement, the thing that we were of different opinions on. And it makes all the difference in the world. Would you be the first person to unity, to love, to reconciliation, to forgiveness, to moving forward so that your marriage can be everything that you created to be? Frankly, whatever relationship. It's not just in marriage, but man, you get good practice in it. But if you do that, be the first one to choose the relationship over the disagreement, you're going to have a relationship and a marriage that is amazing and beyond belief, that other people are going to look at and say, I want to have what they have. You're worth it. The relationship's worth it. Would you choose it? Hey, Mark, I am glad you're here. Like I said, at _freedom4life_. Would you do me a favor? If something in this conversation is resonating with you, hit the like button. Give me a comment. Let me know what your tools are for success. And at the end of the day, if you do nothing else, share this with somebody who needs a relationship that has some tools for success, and dominate your day.